Okay, so we'll start the class. So by the time this is the last lecture, and only the for topic which is remaining from the pandas and matplot library is your parameterized query. So what actually it means is it is parameterized means when you're passing some parameters with your strings with your SQL query. By the time what we were doing, we were having only one SQL query which we were firing was select all from the student table or student details. So in that case, you do not need to pass any arguments with it that it should be less than or it should be greater than, or you have to just pass some of the arguments with it like update or insert. So nothing was like that. Only we were passing a simple query which was saying that you have to select all the students. So it was just showing us all the students together at once. But what in case if we have to also pass the parameters with it? So for the parameters, to execute the parameters, what are we going to do is we have two ways of executing the parameters. One way is that using old style and another way is using new style. Now old style and new style, both of the styles are quite running in nowadays. You can use both the styles, whatever the preferred one is with you. So going on to first the old style, how does it work? So old style says that it follows generally a format kind of string. So formatting a string means it's just a minute. So let me just admit all of the students waiting in the queue. Okay. So formatting says that it generally takes a kind of format value, that is f under f percentage v, where f says that it should be a template string. That means you can write your entire query like this, which will be considered as your f, and v is here your value. That means whatever the value you are passing to the query. So this is a way how you are parameterizing your query. So this is, you can see that I'm passing a parameter. I'm saying that select all from the student detail, but the condition says that the mark should be greater than something. So that is a parameter which we are passing. So you can pass it into the two ways. So the first way in old style is that you can just directly pass the %f, which says that there will be some value. Now, one more thing is to keep it in mind that whenever you use this old style formatting and this format f%v, it always takes tuple values. That's why even though if you're passing a single value, it should always be with comma. You cannot ever do like that. If you are passing only one value, simply write a one value over. That is not like that, because f%v always takes a tuple value. And for making your single value also into a tuple, you can just put a comma over here. So it will be considered there are so many values into the form of tuple. Now see, one more thing is there, that you are passing %s, only 1% s is written. That means you are passing only one value. If there are more than 2% s or 3% s are written, then it indicates that there are more than that values you can pass in this parameter, in this parenthesis. So you can notice that 70 comma has been used. Why it has been used? Because v value accepts only tuple, and that is the reason we are passing 70 comma. Now one more thing, you can even pass so many values with it. How can you pass it? The example is like this, that select, if I want to pass two values together, how can I do it? Like it will be select all from the student underscore details. Sorry, the spelling is wrong over here. You can write the correct spelling, and anyways it will be the name of the table which you have made in your database. So it will be the name of the table from where do you want to select. To select all from the student details, where marks should be greater than percentage. So that is one argument, and second argument we have is and its name should be %s. Now see, one more thing, you can find the difference over here. 1% is 1% s is without the apostrophes, but another %s is with the apostrophe. Why is it so? Because 1%s is a numerical value over here. So if you deal with a numerical value, you never use apostrophes with it. That means that your quotes with it. But if you're using any string value like name is there, character is there, or any other thing is there, then you always use, then they are always the string values, and that is the reason that you are enclosing it into the quotes. So that's why do not forget, even though you are writing percentage only, you have to be clearly write that whether it is a numerical value, integer value, or it is a string value. According to that, you have to use the quotes and without quotes. Now see, I already told them that the marks should be there. One parameter should be marks, whereas another parameter should be name with percent s. So two parameters are shown, but the values are not passed. So the value will be passed as f percent v, and the query should be first closed. So our query will be closed. You can see the double quotes has been closed over there, and after the query has been closed with the percentage sign, we will be passing our parameters or arguments. So the first argument was our marks. That's why we are passing 70, and another argument was our name, and that's why I'm passing here ET. So this is the way how you can pass. Now you cannot jumble the words like 80 has been written before and 70 has been written afterwards, because the first argument will correspond to the first parameter. Similarly, the second one will be corresponding to the second one. Now again, in old style also there are two ways of writing it. One way that in one single string, one single sentence you mention everything. Another is what you can do, you can break this in two parts. One part is your argument, another part is your query. So what you can do, you can define your query separately, and you can put this your values also separately by giving some name. And then what you can do is you can just cursor.execute, you can pass both the values inside this. So what it will do, it will take your query also, which I have mentioned separately like this, and it will take your input value also, which I have mentioned separately like this over here. So this is same. This is not at all different. This is just to make it clear to you and to make it a bit easier, because this is a very long sentence, difficult to understand. So in that case, what you can divide this single sentence into two parts. One part will be your query, another part will be your data. And then when you execute your query in this form, then you can pass both the data. That first should be query and then the data should be passed with it. So in this way, you can also do your new old style template formatting. So this is the way how you can do it. We'll just see the example related to this one. So the example says that we are using a formatting, and first of all, that we are using MySQL connector because we are going to connect it with the database. So first very important thing which you have to import is your MySQL.connector as SQL. You can write any other thing also. You can write any other value over here. I'm writing an SQL, you can write any other thing also. Now see, pandas is not essentially required because I'm not using any data frame kind of, but since I use the previous program only, so I forgot to remove it. It is not actually required, but if you write it, it will not throw you an error, but it is not required, then don't use it unnecessarily. So leave this pandas, but MySQL connector should be definitely there. After MySQL connector, what is the first step that it says that first import your module. So we have imported our module. Second step, it says that connect it to the database, open your connection. So we know that for opening our connection, we use .connect method, repeating the previous lecture's theory again. That for connecting, what do we use? .connect method, and .connect method will be used with SQL because it is a part of MySQL.connector. It will be SQL.connect, and it will take four arguments. One will be your host is equal to localhost, which is by default for all the MySQL softwares. Next is your database, which you are going to give your own database name. Then the user root. If you do not provide any username while installation, by default it is root. And then the password, you can keep it of your own choice. And it would be suggestible to you that better if you use root only, so that it can work in any other machine also if you work on school systems and like that, or else it depends on you. Just do not forget to change the password if you are using a different machine, because that different machine will be having different password according to their own system. So this is MySQL software password, which I have kept it like this. You can put it in, you can put as your choice. Now once you get connected, the next step is says you have to create a cursor which points to the database, because cursor is ultimately having all the details with it. So now first of all, we have to create a cursor which will point to the database. So in that case, what I will do, cursor is equals to con.cursor. Since connection should be there because all the details are in now con, so I'll be using con.cursor, that whatever the database con is pointing to, you have to create a cursor for that. And then now the main part comes into this, that you have to execute your query. So for that, first of all, the query should be written and it should be parameterized, because since we are working today on parameterized query. So select all from the student detail where mark should be greater than this. So I have given one of the parameter that mark should be greater than this. And now I know that what does the old string format says that it should be f, that means the string should be their query string, and percent v. So percent v says that the value, so percent, and I have only one value. Then also I have used comma over here because I already mentioned you that value attribute takes only tuple values. So in that case, even if you pass a single value, it should be always appended with a comma. That's why I'm using a comma. Now I have my string generated with parameterized query. Now I will pass this query into the execute function, which will execute the query. So I've executed the query, and now I want to fetch all the data. Now cursor is having all the details inside it. So I just want to fetch the data. I have many options to fetch the data. It's fetch all, fetch many, and fetch one. You can use whatever you want. So I used for here fetch all. Now in that case, what the query has been fed, that only I have to fetch that data which is having marks greater than 55. So in that case, when I execute the query, only that output will come. Only those students will come whose marks are greater than 55. So now see, I told you before also in the last lecture that you can directly write print data. But if you want your data to look in a systematic way row wise, then you can always use the for loop. Now, if I do not use a for loop, and if I would have written directly print data, then it would be printed like this. As you can see, the run file has been visible over here. In the similar way, in one row only, all three data would have been appeared with comma separated values. So that would not even look good. So if you want it to be in presentable way, you can just use the for loop, and you'll print, as you'll print the row, you can see the output. Then close your connection, which is the last step says that cone.close. Now see the output. I have three outputs with me, and you must be aware that in the previous lecture we have added 5 students. So they have given only output of 3 students. Why is it so? Because we have applied a query which says that its mark should be greater than 55. So this is the way how you can use old string formatting for parameterized queries. Now, if you have any doubt, you can just ping me in the chat box. Now we have is that how the new style formatting is different from the previous styling, old styling. Now see, the new style formatting use always dot format method. So this is the keyword which has been used with new style formatting. Now this dot format can be used again in two ways. First is that you can just, wherever the values will come, you can just use a curly bracket over there. Like example is we have dash hectares planted to dash. So instead of dash, wherever you want to put the values, you can just use the curly brackets. Now, the curly brackets can be empty brackets too. No need of specifying integer values inside it. If you specify, that will just show that how this will go. Like the first value will be 0, another value will be 1. But if you do not specify, it will not make any difference. So either you can keep this as the empty brackets, or you can mention 0 or 1, or the another method says instead of 0 and 1, you can also pass name. By which name do you want to refer that brackets? So suppose if you pass names, then you have to clearly mention in dot format that monster is equals to tsunami and city is equals to Japan. So you can see here that the monster is here, monster has eaten city. So monster has been the name given to that particular bracket. So while you pass the arguments, you have to clearly specify that in place of monster, tsunami should be there, and in place of city, Japan should be there. Now see, this is not in the same sequence as monster and city has been given, but that actually doesn't matter over here because you're already giving the names to them. And when if you're referring them with a name, then it doesn't really matter that it should be in the same sequence because they will put the values by reading the name. In this case, if you're using empty brackets, the values which you are passing should be in sequence because it look for the sequence. But when you are passing the name, it doesn't look for any sequence. So these are the two ways in which you can use new styling. Now see, in new styling, the only difference is here that you are using dot format to pass the method. Whereas here, what you are doing, you are using f%v format. So let's see the example. How does this work? So for this, first of all, import your SQL connector. Once you imported your SQL connector, the next thing you have to do is you have to connect it to the database system, which takes 4 arguments. Then create a cursor for it, and then write a query for it. Now the difference is over here is that you can see the empty parenthesis, empty brackets has been given. Why? You can see that before how I was doing. Before what I was doing, I was passing %s in all styling, but in new styling, I am using empty brackets, and two values has been passed. Two values we need to pass. We will be passing with dot format, and the values will be passed. Again, we can see that with the empty parentheses there are quotes. Why? Because we are passing a string value, it should be in the quotes. So to differentiate there that we are passing a string value, it should be in the quotes, while whereas if you are using numbers, it should be without quotes. So this is the way how you are doing your new styling. Whereas the old styling is also here. You can see the example in your hash. Hash says that you have commented the line. It will not work for now. So in previous old styling, what I was doing was that marks should be greater than %s was used, and then the values was passed, which is not so in new styling. I am using dot format. Once you've written your query, you will just execute your query with cursor.execute, and then you can use the same syntax, fetch all the data. So you can see I got a data in which the name is Bhavesh and the marks is greater than 55. So I have to, if the marks should not be greater than 55 of Bhavesh, then the data will not be appeared, because there would be no any result founding then which will be equivalent to Bhavesh, and the mark should be greater than 55. So you can see the output over here. So this is the way how you are going to use your old styling and new styling. You can use both the styling, whatever is preferable for you. No any restriction is there to use any old styling or new styling. You can use whatever you prefer. So now going on to our last topic, which says that performing insert and update queries. Now see, by the time we were doing only select statement. So what we were doing, we were just fetching the data from there. But in case of insert and update, you need to change the data also. Like if I'm inserting a row, that means my database is entirely changing. If I want to update any of the data, that also means my database is going to change. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to use commit function. So as you execute your query, the commit function will be used after it, so that it can just commit your changes. Whatever the changes has been done by you will be reflected in your database only after you commit it. So this is a very important statement which we have to use while performing insert and update queries, that we have to commit the changes. Commit means that is going to be reflected into your database now. So if you do not perform commit, then it might not get reflected, or as you close your programming or system, it will again get back to its original state. So in that case, you have to always commit it. So the syntax for committing it is con connection underscore object, that means con dot commit. So this is the method by which you will be committing it. Let's see through some of the examples. So our example says that what I am doing is I am just inserting a row. So the first lines will be the same. SQL connector will be there, connect line will be there, cursor will be created, and then in the query, insert into student detail, and I wanted to insert a complete row. So and I'm using a new styling over here. So what I have done, I have just used my query should be like this, that insert into student detail. The syntax is all same as we have learned it into the SQL. So I wanted to insert this, and now instead of values, I have just used empty parentheses. Only the difference is wherever the string value will get passed, I have just used the quotes with it. So this is the way how I have used my query. Now, as the new styling says that you have to use dot format. Now see, I have used it into another statement. You can break your query always. So I've just used the query over there, and query dot format. I have used the remaining portion over here. You can always write it here only. Dot format and can pass the values. But I used it into the next sentence because the sentence was becoming a quite large. So I break the sentence in this way, that I have written only the query there, and now I will use that query dot format, which says passing the values. So I just pass the values. I've executed it and I've committed it. So let's see now. See, when you'll commit and when you'll run your IDE, this will be seen in your console that it has been successfully run. Nothing will be shown as an output because we have not written any print statement over here. Now see it into the SQL, go into your SQL and just check over there. So I've just written a query, select all from the student detail. And as I was knowing that before I was having only 5 records. But after inserting into, after running this query, I can see that now I have 6 records in which the last record has been inserted as I have written over here. 6 Rajesh, AIM, IMP and 66. So you can see the record has been inserted over here. So this is the way how you can insert your student, how you can insert your record into any of the table. The only thing is you can use old styling or new styling, whatever is preferred by you. I have used new styling over here. You can try with old styling as well. And the only change over here is you can commit. You have to commit after once you have executed your query. So this is what we have done. Insert example. Just see, have a look over update also. So in this example, you can see all the 3 connections or the statements are same. Only the query has been changed, which says that update student table, student underscore detail, and set marks is equal to whatever. You can see the curly braces has been given, where marks should be equals to this. The update statement is same. You already know how to write an update statement. What should be the argument or parameter should be passed for the update statement. So I am just showing you how I have used it over here. So I just wanted to update the marks of a person whose marks are like this. So wherever the marks is 35, just update it to 55. As I execute the query, you can see before I was having this table, just a second, before I was having this table, which was having 35 as the marks for Purvi. So now it has been updated to 55 because my query was saying that wherever the 35 marks are there, just update it to 55. So it has been updated and the same syntax has been used. I've again used a new styling. You can use whatever the styling you want. Both the stylings are familiar to you. Only the update query has been changed. It has been executed and has been committed. So this is the final topic which we are done. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Related insert, update, any doubts, you can ask me now because this was the only portion left which we are done for today. We'll be meeting now maybe on 1st of June. By the time you have 2 weeks of holidays which you can enjoy. Any doubts, most welcome. By the time I'm unmuting all of you. Any doubts, please let me know. Otherwise, we can end the meeting because we are done with all the things. Enjoy your holidays, practice programming, work on your projects. Everything has been written on the slides.